Dressed in flavor, cultural food, fashion, and the psychology of self-expression. Welcome back to the Passionate Palate, a podcast for food lovers and culinary explorers where we talk about various foods, flavors, and ingredients from around the world. I am your host, Zay. Today's episode is a really special one because we're exploring the intersection of cultural food, psychology, fashion, and identity. My guest is a high school psychology teacher with a master's in positive psychology and currently studying counseling psychology. She is also the creator of POF Luxe, a brand that blends psychology, fashion, and luxury while clothing becomes a form of self-expression, healing, and identity. She's originally from Aleppo, Syria, came to America as a child, is a mother, and someone who deeply loves cooking Syrian food. Because of her, food is culture, memory, and home. Please welcome Nora Termanini. Assalamu alaikum, Nora. Welcome to my show.
Assalamu alaikum. How are you? Thank you for having me.
It's such a pleasure and an honor to have you.
Likewise, and congratulations on winning Influencer of the Year.
Thank you so much. So when I first stumbled upon your page on Instagram, I was so inspired by you, the things that you were saying, and you speak so calmly and confidently. And I felt like right through the screen, like you were talking to me, like face to face. And I'm like, I have to get her on my show just so we could have a really interesting conversation. So thank you for finding time and being here. Thank you.
Thank you. Like I said, thank you for having me. I look forward to this conversation.
My pleasure. So, okay, Nora, let's start from the beginning. For people meeting you for the first time, how do you usually describe what you do?
Well, right now I'm studying to become a therapist.
Wow.
In the meantime, before so inshallah, in another year or so, I should have my therapy license in the state of New Jersey. But in the meantime, I wanted to take on clients. So I came up with personal growth consultants because that's pretty much what I do. I'm all about personal development. And I believe in the power of reframing our thinking and being the best version of ourselves, which I think we should all be striving to be throughout our entire life. Yeah.
Absolutely. And then POF Luxe. So what does it stand for and how did that come about?
Yeah. So POF stands for Psychology of Fashion, right? And I originally had it as Psych of Fashion. Okay. But everyone, my friends, they would make jokes. They'll say, it sounds like it's psycho fashion. And I'm like, hey, listen, it is what it is. It's psych of fashion. It was just a short. I don't want to write the entire word psychology. So I came up with psych of fashion. And POF stands for that. I added Luxe because when I went to create the website, someone grabbed psych of fashion and they were selling it online. So I'm like, I was like, someone's watching. So they took the website names. I was like, I'm just going to change it, POF Luxe. And that's where we are now. So now it's across the board, POF Luxe. And obviously Luxe for luxury, because it's the luxury of the person, not luxury in terms of logos and shopping, but in terms of you becoming the best version of yourself.
Right. That's incredible. Sometimes you can't do that. There are people out there who are just watching you and waiting to grab. And then, you know what? You made it your own and this sounds pretty cool.
I think it comes with territory. I should have grabbed the website earlier, but, I didn't know where this was going. And now it seems to be taking off. And I'm very excited to see what's come for 2026.
Yep.
Alhamdulillah, as long as I feel like I have good intentions to put out there to help people and Allah is backing me up and He'll make it easy for me.
Always. So you connect fashion and psychology. How does what we wear affect how we feel, think, and even perform?
Oh my God, in so many ways. I mean, I think back to when I was a child. When I came here to the United States, I didn't speak English. So for me to connect with peers, I remember there was a movie. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this movie, but it's called Teen Witch. It's a completely inappropriate movie. I don't know why I was watching it. I was in 5th grade. But nevertheless, I was watching it and I was very much inspired by the clothing on the show, in the movie. Okay. And I would, emulate those styles. And eventually, I learned to kind of just communicate through clothing. Because I think what we wear does communicate. It communicates your interests. It communicates how you feel about yourself. And I think about it when you're really down and you can tell because you kind of look disheveled. You're not really put together. And this is not to say that a person who one time looks disheveled means that they're not taking care of themselves or they're depressed, but rather we look for patterns, right? So if this is consistently your go-to by not really taking care of yourself, then we know there's a problem there. We need to fixate to see what we can fix.
Right.
So absolutely, it connects on so many levels. When I put on a blazer, I feel so confident. When I wear black, I feel confident. I feel powerful. Right. So I think it has a lot to do with how you. And there's even the study. There was a study done within clothes cognition. Okay. What you wear improves your performance. It motivates you. So we definitely have to take our clothing seriously because they communicate to the world who we are, what we value. And yeah,
I absolutely agree with you. There are times that my husband would get ready and he'd go to work. And then later on in the day, he'll be like, I don't think what I wore today helped me. Like he relates it to clothes and it makes sense with what you're saying. He's like, I just didn't feel right today. I felt like maybe I should have worn that other shirt. And it's crazy. Like people don't realize that. Like what you wear, like
absolutely.
because you have to be
Well,
comfortable, right?
absolutely. There's comfort, there's functionality.
Mm-hmm.
And, things change too. Your life changes. There's different stages of life. I know since I became a mom, I look for clothes that are functional. Like when I
Right.
was, especially when I was nursing my two
Right.
kids, I had to look for something that I can easily access to source of food for them. So it was I
Right.
couldn't wear turtlenecks, right? Because
I
then
know.
it was I had to look for button downs. So it was all about
Right. Right.
functionality. So
Or
things change,
zippers.
obviously, and they evolve with your life. Absolutely, exactly.
Right.
Something easy access.
Easy
But
access.
ultimately, yeah, I think it takes 7 seconds for someone to form an impression, and the first thing they're
Wow.
seeing is what you're wearing. So
Absolutely. That is so
yeah.
true. Can you explain color psychology in a way that feels practical for everyday people?
Well, color psychology is all about looking for the colors and what they evoke, what emotion they evoke within you, and how you feel when you're wearing that color. Color, I definitely love color, even though I don't wear a lot of it. Like black is typically my go-to, beige is my go-to, but I feel so powerful in that. Like I'm kind of like a beige black aesthetic girl, but
Okay.
it's where I find my confidence. And the reason that is, I'll tell you, I have a very strong personality. I'm very assertive.
Okay.
And I feel like for me, if I come in very colorful on top of also being very assertive,
Right.
I think I may turn people off
You think
because
it'll
then
kind
it's
of
like
clash
too
with
much
your...
stimulation. Because it's too much
Oh,
stimulation. It's like the colors, the assertiveness, the strong personality, right?
uh-huh.
So I'd rather mute that down and then allow me to speak and shine the way I pretty much do
Right. Right.
every single day. But that makes sense for me, right? Not everybody. But when it comes to
Right.
color, again, it depends on what you're feeling. It depends on you trying something new. I mean, maybe a person is going through divorce and they've never worn color before because they got so accustomed to wearing specific colors,
Right.
right? Maybe not kind of navigating a new area. And now they want to start wearing red or wearing purple or wearing
Right.
maroon, whatever it may be. And that is giving them a new sense of confidence in this new identity now. So
Got it.
in other words, there's no right answer. It's all
Uh-huh.
comes down, it's all subjective, and it all comes down to the person and the situation and how they're feeling. And whether they're doing it with the intention of adding value to themselves and being confident and not doing it because someone, X, Y, and Z is doing it. So I'm just going to follow what they're
True.
doing.
True.
So
True. True. That's very interesting. And you're right, because there's so much that you could see. Sometimes you see people wearing like black and those shades. And it's so funny, like sometimes you see them like totally wearing a color that you've never seen them before. And I don't know whether that is like a step forward towards something new they're trying in life, or they're trying to leave something behind.
right.
It's interesting, the whole psychology of it.
And only they'll know the answer to that,
Right.
because
True.
in psychology, when we ask, like, why does this person behave this way, why do they think
Uh-huh.
this way, why are they feeling this way,
Right.
well, the best answer is going to be that it depends, because it depends on so many variables, right? We can never pinpoint
Right.
one specific thing that's contributing to something, but rather we look at the entire picture, which, a lot of my work kind of ties into the biopsychosocial approach.
Uh-huh.
There's the biology part, obviously chemicals, whether there's a chemical imbalance. Maybe you have too
Right.
much of one chemical or not enough of one chemical and it's throwing
Right.
off something. Then there is the how do you talk to yourself? How do you view yourself? Right? What is the conversation that you have with yourself in your head? How does that look like? What does that look like for you? Are you putting yourself down?
Right.
Or do you have agency where you're like, I feel like I have control over the situation and I'm going to give it a shot. And if I fail, it's okay. I've learned something.
Uh-huh.
And obviously the best lessons come from failure, right?
Absolutely.
So that's another aspect. And of course, also the environment of which you're raised in.
Uh-huh.
Who are you around? Are you
Uh-huh.
around people who are uplifting you? Are they
Right.
inspiring you?
Uh-huh.
Or are they bringing you down? And what conversations are you having? Like so much of my life now, I've controlled so much of that because I no longer want to be around women who gossip or put other women down. I'm
Right.
not interested in these things. I'm interested in
Right.
evolving. I want to evolve. Like, let's talk about starting a business. Let's talk about doing
Right.
something. How can I help you? And how can you help me? And it's like synergy, positive
Right.
synergy.
Absolutely. That's great, Nora. That's...
Yeah, thank you.
And you're welcome. So is there a color you personally gravitate towards? I know you talked about, I think you just answered that. You were talking about, because I was asking about a color that you personally gravitate towards during certain emotional seasons of your life. Is black, I know you mentioned black and beige is your go-to.
Yeah, black and beige is my go-to. In the summer, I throw in more white in there, more creams, more white, more taupe. Red every now and then. I love
Yeah.
maroon. I mean, I feel like maroon is so rich and so
Yes,
elegant.
it is.
Also, navy blue. Navy blue is also another
I
one.
love navy blue. It's
Yeah,
also a
navy blue is
very like a
it's such an elegant color.
is and it kind of gives you like it gives like the power of confidence. Luxury often gets misunderstood.
Hmm.
When you use the word luxury, we think about luxury hotels, luxury apartments, luxury cars, luxury, clothes and style. So in a psychological aspect, how do you define luxury?
Well, for me, luxury is really clarity. When you have clarity in your life, you
Mm,
have clear vision of what's important to you, how you live your life, what you're doing every single day, how you want to show up in the world. I think that is the ultimate luxury because too often women, especially women, where we fall victim to this, right? I mean, I was once there. I used to shop all the time and think logos was the thing. And I
right,
had so many different relationships with like in Louis Vuitton and Gucci and Chanel.
right.
And they would call me and I would think, I'm like, these people are my friends. But they're like, hey, this new bag came in. You want to get it? I'm like, yeah, yeah,
Wow.
sure. Add it to my card. I'll
Right,
come pick it
right,
up later. Right. But is that really luxury? I mean, listen, I like nice things. I'm not saying don't buy nice bags or don't buy luxury items, but are you buying it for the right reasons? And now this is obviously when I was younger, because when you're younger,
right.
you get the message that for you to show up in the world
Hmm.
as having some sort of value, you need
Right,
to have a logo, which is what they say, like the Louis Vuitton starter bag, the never full bag. That's like the starter bag into Louis Vuitton.
right,
And then from
right.
there, it keeps going. And then when does it end?
True, because sometimes we feel like we need those things to define us, define our self-worth, define our status
Right.
in life, sadly. But, and once again, it's youth. When you're young, you think like that. And as you grow and mature, you realize there's way more to that.
Right, but it's also this
So,
thing, I think, like the luxury industry definitely plays a role in that. I
oh,
think
for
they
sure.
strip a lot of young women, a lot of young girls who are seeing these images, especially now with Instagram. I mean,
Hmm.
I can speak for myself. I wasn't raised on Instagram. I didn't see these
Me
images,
too.
but I did see them
Right.
in magazines. I saw like what the ideal body was. But ultimately, I think like they strip away something to make you feel insecure.
Hmm.
And the only way is you have to buy it back through the logos that they provide you with. It's all psychological.
It
And like
is.
I said, I'm not against women shopping. I think you should allocate a certain percentage of your salary to go buy what you want to buy.
Right.
But just buy it for the right reasons and you make that
Exactly.
bag happen. You make that outfit happen, no, not the other way around.
Exactly. Yeah. That's true. All right, so let's talk about food. When someone asks you what food feels like home, what dish instantly comes to your mind?
Well, that's a good question. I think of meshi. I think of frike, a lot of Syrian foods, because when
Yeah,
obviously I was born in Syria, and every time we would go back there to visit, it was just the food was such an important part of growing up.
of course.
Even if you weren't finished, they were still adding more to your plate to force food down your throat pretty much. It was like, oh, you're not done. But yeah, I think of lamb, I think of rice, I think of there's a frike, toasted pine nuts. Frike is like it's a grain. It's a type of grain and it's very healthy. It's like it's green. It's like a greenish tone.
Okay.
And they make it with rice, with minced meat, and then chicken,
Mm,
and then all the like toasted pine nuts on top. I'll make it
sounds
for you
good.
one day. Actually, like,
Yeah,
I could tell you
sounds
how to
so
make it. Yeah,
good.
it's really good.
Nice. I
But
would love to try
these are
it.
the foods I think. Yeah, I mean, like I said, food is a very important part. I mean, here in the U.S., unfortunately, I feel like we don't, even though we're eating these foods, but they're not as healthy
Right.
as like back home. Back
Mm-hmm.
home, I eat so much, but I don't actually gain weight, which is weird. I'm like, I don't know how to understand, but I guess because it's so natural and healthy for you.
Yeah, that's true. Do you believe foods that we grow up eating shape like our identity just as much as clothes that we grew up wearing?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, some cultures, like, let's say my mom, she was raised on eating spices. I did
Really?
not, even though I ate a lot of food, but I can't eat spice.
Okay.
I actually had a bad experience once. I touched pepper or something, like I touched pita bread, and whoever
Okay.
touched that pita bread had pepper, like real hot pepper, and I rubbed my
Like,
eye, and
is it
it
like a
burned my
powder?
eye.
Do you think it was a powder or like a paste?
No, I think it was just on their hand, and like
Oh,
they must, because it was such a spicy pepper they were eating that it got on the bread, and I
ah,
took the bread, and then somehow it got on my hand. I rubbed my eye, and my eye was burning. But that's neither here nor there. I like a little kick to my food, but I can't
mm,
handle too much spice. But my mom, she could take a pepper like this, like eat it like nothing.
oh my gosh.
So that's something for her. That's so normal. And I'm like, girl, I don't know how you do that. But I mean, it does shape us. I mean, growing up, let's say I didn't have sushi. And I, for a
Right.
long period, refused to have sushi. I'm like, I'm not going to eat sushi. How can you eat raw fish? It's
Think
disgusting.
I think the same way. I can't eat sushi to this day. I have the California rolls and the tempuras, but I can't have the raw fish because
Right.
I didn't grow up with eating that.
Right. Well, I will tell you though, when I was at a sushi lounge many, many, many years ago with my friend, we were in Hoboken, and she's like, "Just give it a shot." I tried it and I actually really liked it,
No
but the one I
way.
had was like slightly cooked,
Okay.
so I started eating it. But now I don't know what's happened since pregnancy. My stomach is so sensitive.
Yeah.
I can't and I'm also like there's like something within myself. I'm just the food in the United States. I don't know what's happening. I look at meat and it's not the same. I'm like something is off with the meat. Something looks different. Like I just
Yeah.
had my husband. I'm like I need you to drive to Pennsylvania and go to like a halal farm and get like meat. And that's so he had to drive to go get it and bring it home because I'm like I'm not buying this meat anymore. And sometimes even in South Patterson, like when they're saying halal meat, like is it really halal? And how do we know? Like who's the
I know.
company who's providing this? Like we don't really know.
I know. There were some issues a few years ago, I remember. But yeah, you're right about the food. I mean, but even in Sri Lanka, where I'm originally from, like the meat tastes so different there. And it's so different. The same
That's
chicken, like the chicken back home, and it's a regular chicken you buy from the grocery store. It's not the chicken that you're sorted at the farm, and it takes a long time to cook. Here, your chicken cooks in like what, 20, 25 minutes? I'm talking about like the
yeah,
bone-in
yeah.
chicken. So it is strange.
Things happening, and then I feel like the animals die with like having a lot of anxiety or not living a fulfilled life as they should be
Right.
living. So I feel like we carry that on if we're taking it into our bodies. So I'm trying to gravitate towards more like healthy, like lentils. I make a lot of mjaddara. I don't know if you know mjaddara. It's like it's lentils with rice and fried onions, and you kind of like
Okay.
mix it all together. And I eat that with yogurt. So I just kind of it's kind of my food now.
So I'm speaking about this. Like, are there any Syrian restaurants, like even in Patterson or anywhere?
Syrian restaurant. I mean, they're all over the
Yes.
place. I think there's Noor al Sham, there's Al Shami, there's I think Sultan was a Syrian chef, if I'm not mistaken. There's
Is
Camille's
there?
restaurant in Patterson. He's Lebanese.
Yeah, so
So
like
there's all
those foods I'm familiar with. Like, we go to a lot of restaurants, like the Middle Eastern. You get the Lebanese, you
yeah,
get the
yeah,
Palestinian, and you get the
yeah.
Yemeni food. Like Syrian, like as their specialty, because some of the dishes that you're talking about, I have not like tried it. So that's why I'm like so excited to know, like, are there some Syrian like authentic dishes, restaurants?
I'm trying to think of as pure. There's one. What is it on Paige Ave in Clifton, right by the
Okay.
corner of White Castle. They're Syrian. The owners are Syrian there.
Okay.
So perhaps they have those meals every now and then.
Right.
And Sultan, I only know, I don't know if they're Syrian owners, but I think they are because I only know because my mom knows my mom and my dad, they know the owners.
Right.
But I could be wrong. We haven't been there in so many years. But now, I mean, with Patterson, of course, so many restaurants are popping up left and right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sure they're out there, but you have to
Right.
like look for them, to see who's making it. I
Right.
know El Besha makes some of these meals. I think Abu
Right.
Ras makes some of these meals. Like they have
Yes.
the daily specials.
Right. Like the makruba, the kebsa, and those things we love.
Right. Have you tried Yemeni restaurant in Patterson?
Yeah, I go to Yemen Land and I go to Mandi House. Both incredible.
Yemen land. I mean, I haven't been to Mandy House. I have to check that out. But Yemeni land, Yemen land,
Yeah. Yeah.
their food is phenomenal,
It
phenomenal.
is. It is.
When my husband brought that food home, I'm like, where was this from? And then I was like, you need to pick that up. Like, I don't know what they put in
It's
the
so
rice,
good.
and they have that little
Right?
puree, I guess, with like
Yeah.
peppers and
Yes.
onions or something.
So you can
It's
handle that.
delicious.
You can handle that
A little
spice.
bit, yeah, I can handle a little
Okay.
bit. I just can't handle I can't make the entire meal
Of
spicy.
course
Like
not.
I can do a little kick. Yeah, a
Right.
little kick is here
Nice.
and here, but not
Very
the whole
nice.
meal being spicy.
Yeah. How does positive psychology explain our emotional attachment to cultural food?
That's a good question. I mean, positive psychology focuses on, again, being the best version of yourself. And oftentimes in psychology, we always focus on what's wrong with the individual, right? What's wrong with this person? Why are they acting this way? But positive psychology tells you what goes right with the individual, what is right about this person. And then they tap into their character strengths. So what strengths do they bring to the table and how can we amplify that to make them the best version of themselves? As far as how it plays a role in food, I mean, I would think being open to trying different, cultural, food that you aren't accustomed to from different cultures, maybe.
Right.
Of course, aligning with your religion. Like, obviously I would never eat pork
Right.
or tofu. Or like, I don't know, I don't gravitate towards these things. But not being afraid to try different things because that is part of your character. You're exploring and you want to explore different things, different foods.
Right.
So they could tie into it for sure. Being open to that experience.
Mm-hmm. True. Do you think people underestimate how deeply their emotions show up in everyday choices like clothing and food?
I think for most people, everyone's looking for something. We're looking for meaning, right? And I think people get lost oftentimes with where do I find this meaning? And they look for it in all the wrong places. Whether it's I constantly want to go out with my friends and just sit at restaurants and I don't do shisha, or I want to shop, or I want to sit home and play games.
Right.
Subconsciously, I think we are looking for something. Now, my personal opinion, right,
Uh-huh.
is not to say that when I work with my clients, this is what I think about them, but it's what I believe. I think we are looking for a deeper connection with God. And I think that subconsciously, that's what we're after. So we go through these things
Right.
and in the end, we're not happy. And the reason you're not happy because it's not what the right way is. You know, I was born Muslim. I didn't really practice Islam until I think when I was 25, maybe 25, 26 years old. And I remember I hung out with so many different groups of people and so many different classes of people. Like I learned through so much, but I noticed they were always unhappy. Like we would go to parties, we would leave the parties and everyone's unhappy.
Wow.
And I was always a designated driver because I really never gravitated to drinking alcohol. So I never, I would always just drive my friends and they would be
Right.
drunk and they were always unhappy. And
Wow.
it used to stick with me. Like, why are they unhappy? Like,
Right. Right.
is this it? And there has to be more to life. And,
Mm-hmm.
and then they would be crying at the end. And so I just think
Wow.
ultimately we are after a relationship with God. And I think this is the
Right.
meaning we're looking for. Everyday person. I think there was a study done at Harvard. It's still going on to this day where they were following people throughout their entire life through every situation that's happened.
Really?
And I think I want to
Wow.
say it started in 1938, but don't quote me on that.
Ah.
Maybe
Okay.
1938. And what they found was what makes people happy is connection, having meaning, having meaningful
Mm-hmm.
connection. So it's not about knowing a million people. It's about knowing maybe one or two quality people that add
Absolutely.
value to your life. And that's what,
I totally agree
that
with you.
meaning right there. So yeah, so
Yeah. Yeah.
hopefully, people begin to kind of invest in themselves a little more,
Mm-hmm.
which I think that's something we're not taught. We're not taught. Like we hear these, these kind of cliches online, like, I'm determined, I'm this. But are
Mm.
people really putting in the work? Are you
Right.
really ready to put in the work? Because you can put
Right.
in the work. You gotta really go at the, at the board there
Mm-hmm.
and reframe things. You got to
Right.
reframe it. You have to be willing to challenge your own ego. And
Yeah.
that's the thing I think most people don't want to challenge. They have to challenge that the way you're thinking may not be the correct way. And
Right.
how are you going to change that? How are you going
Mm-hmm.
to unlearn to relearn? And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's a skill you have to develop by being honest with yourself.
That's so true. And I think that is something so many women need to kind of come to a realization. And I hope a lot of people watch this episode and realize this, because that's
Mm-hmm.
sadly with the world that we're living in right now, with social media and you're seeing all the trends and there's so much, unlike 25, 30 years ago. People need to realize that sometimes it's all about the show, right? You want to portray a
Mm-hmm.
certain version of yourself for others to see on social media. And like, you do everything online and then behind closed doors, you're depressed and you're sad. And like you
Yeah,
said,
it's
they don't
performative.
have
It's all
that connection.
performative, which, like I said, if you get clarity, I mean, clarity is the foundation of authenticity. And my
Right,
work is all about being authentic and being unapologetic about it.
right,
Like, it's not about what people think. It's about how do you feel about yourself? How do you show up for yourself? You feel good about it?
right.
Then that's all that matters, really.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. Do you think children of immigrants often reconnect with cultural food later in life?
Again, that's going to depend on the person. I've seen people who have grown up here and, have a deep affinity to back home and they want to go back and visit Middle East. Because
Right.
some are disconnected. Like they
Really?
doesn't, I don't want to say disconnected. It's just nothing. They're not really thinking about it. They're so engulfed in
Right.
like being American, that
Wow.
they're not really thinking about like what is back home. I was raised here.
Right.
So,
So like it's like they don't have that connection, connection to their
or
roots.
they,
And I think it's so important that
right.
you do. You know where you came from, your roots, your heritage, your culture. I think that's what makes you you and unique.
No. Well, I mean, their roots are here. So not necessarily that they're like not, we like let's say you and I, we would say like you're disconnected from your roots, but to them, their POV might be like my roots are here. This is all I know.
Right, right.
So
True.
like don't tell me back home.
Right.
And mind you, back home too, like I think a lot of us here growing up in the States, we romanticize back home. And listen, I love it. Like I mean, I've always felt Syria is my home. Syria is where I grew up, it's where I was born.
Right.
But I also think about it, I see my people struggling. I see things aren't working out, like they're not having a good quality of life, and that hurts my feeling. Like it bothers me, So it goes back to like, well, I'm like, well, look at all these people in power. what are they doing for their people, So in many cases, I think it's a blessing that Arab Americans, let's say for us, we're here now because
Yeah.
now we can show up and help the younger generation on how to navigate both identities from, back home and being here, and also educating ourselves enough to be able to help the people back home. Like, how
True.
can we show up for them?
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know what the right answer is, but
Right.
this is what comes to mind,
Okay. So I know you love your Syrian food, and you were showing me like pictures of this incredible the dishes that you make, and everything looks so good and so authentic, and even the way you present it, it's so beautiful. Is there a meal or a recipe that tells the story of your family or childhood?
My family, my childhood, I would say kibbeh labaniya, which
Okay.
is like a yogurt base soup, I guess you can say. And we put the kibbeh inside and meat inside. That's something I always remember growing up with. Mehshi, the stuffed kusa,
Okay.
definitely a part. And then there's something you're not going to find it here. It's only in Syria.
Okay.
Lahme bed bkaraz. So is it lahme bed
Okay.
bkaraz or lahme bkaraz? Lahme bkaraz. And then there's
Okay.
also lahme bed. So they put like a tray and they put all the peanut bread on and they put yogurt and they
Okay.
put eggs on top and meat.
Okay.
And then
Is
that becomes that's a mia.
Is it like baked, or is it just everything's cooked and just layered?
It's just layered. Yeah, it's layered. Maybe
Mm.
you could put it probably like another 5-10 minutes into the oven to get a nice little
Right.
color.
Right.
But then there's lahme bkaraz, which is like cherry sauce on top of meat also with bread as well. And it's delicious. It is absolutely delicious. I think there's specific cherries. Don't quote me on that. I'm not that authentic from, I don't know what they're using over there, what kind of
Right.
cherries.
Right.
But it's only specific to Syria.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
I would like to try some of these dishes for sure, and then I make you Sri Lankan food, and then we get to
I
taste
love
each
that.
other's. I think
Yeah,
that would
I
be
love it. I
awesome.
love it. Let's do it for sure. Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
what people don't know about me. Like I can throw down like a Syrian woman in a kitchen. I don't have time to do it every day, but when I
Of
do, I can
course.
throw
Yeah.
down. Yeah.
Yeah. It's in
Yeah.
your genes. It's
When
in
I
your
spend
blood.
time there, yeah, I think, well, no, not even that, because my mom, she's a good cook, but she never really cooked a lot, my mom.
Okay.
We just got accustomed, my siblings and I got accustomed to eating out. So that was kind of really our upbringing, right? And the last time when I went to Syria was in 2010, I want to say. It was
Okay.
6 months before the war broke out. And I sat with one of my family members and I got a notebook. And I'm like, listen, just teach me how to cook. I just want to learn how to cook.
Oh,
And I sat down and each meal I would write down. And she's like,
wow.
you put the kizbara and it's like the coriander. This is cumin. And this is how I started learning. And then then it was up to me. I kept like trying different things. I would watch videos and trying to perfect it. But keep in mind, I mean, I think I'm good, but so to a Syrian woman back home, I may not be that great. So
Right.
it's all subjective, right? But
as long as it tastes good and as close to authentic as possible, you're good.
yeah.
So, talking about your career as a personal growth consultant, what do most people come to you struggling with? Yeah, I know it's something like, I don't know if you're okay to talk about it, but at least some idea so that, people watching this will also understand and will also help educate them.
Yeah. All right. So if I'm currently helping somebody who just lost her husband, and that's been really tough. Another case scenario that I'm working with another client is about understanding her wardrobe, understanding her closet. She just keeps shopping and shopping and shopping. She can't stop shopping, which again, it's reframing. It's not like stop shopping. It's let's slow down a little bit and what is really happening? Like, what are you avoiding? Are you looking for a dopamine rush? So that's my work. And I do work right now. I'm taking on, I only have women clients and I only take on like 4 to 5 clients at a time, by the way. I don't take on a lot because I also have a full-time job and I have 2 kids to manage. So
of course,
luckily my husband, we figure out the schedule where he's able to like accommodate me and then I can make this happen.
Right.
But I also, I eventually, I do take on men as well. But right now, as of now, I don't have a male client.
What about like since being a high school psychology teacher, what do you see the emotional struggles that teenagers go through?
Oh, that's tough because I've seen teenagers change so. I mean, I've been teaching 15 years, and teenagers were so. It's been like a shift. It's weird. They were so outgoing when I first started teaching. They would want to talk to each other. Now the kids barely want to talk to each other. Like they just don't want to talk because they're so glued to their phone. And the communication is all there. And a lot of them struggle with depression. They get bullied. People make comments about them online. So it's that aspect. You have to like really kind of draw it out of them to like, so that's why I try to do a lot of group work activities so they can connect and talk to each other.
Nora, do you think COVID has anything to do with it or no?
I'm sure COVID, yeah, of course, a little bit, yeah. I would think
But
definitely COVID
overall,
had a lot to do with it because now. But I mean, there's been a shift. I mean, there's COVID, there's social media. I mean,
Social media
they're
is
growing up with
huge.
social media. Imagine.
Yeah.
They're growing up with social. Like my 2-year-old tells me, "Is this TikTok? Like this is their upbringing. This is what they know." Like I remember I was 15 when when my dad like got us a computer. And I'm like, Dad, there's something called like AOL. I don't know. Can you like help us get it? And then he like
Right.
got it for us. And like it was installed on the computer. I forget how we used to log into it. It was a program, right? You had to download, or was it a website? I don't remember. But we were introduced when we were 15, so the foundation had already been set where you don't like we were bored as kids, right?
Yeah.
Think about it. We were bored. I remember my brother and I, we would go play outside in the yard, and we would like take dirt and put water and pretend we were having a barbecue, but like we were just playing. Like it was just boring play.
Right.
Now it's like all this high entertainment. Like you gotta you gotta take these kids out. You gotta show them this and this stimulus. It's too much. It's a lot. So I think we're probably heading down a road of like an ADHD society. If we're not already there.
Has
where we can't
motherhood
stay
of
focused.
That's true. Has motherhood or family life changed how you define success or balance?
I mean, it definitely has. I was always raised to be very career driven, which sometimes I feel like I don't know if that was the right thing, but it is part of my belief now. I feel like as a woman, I have to have a career. I have to make my own money. I can't just rely. I hate the cliche, can't rely on a man. I hate that because, I do rely on my husband, but I also have to have my own. And sometimes I feel like had I been raised maybe to like appreciate staying home and being like, a stay at home mom, that would have been pretty cool because I would have valued that time, if that makes any sense. But I definitely like prioritize my kids over anything. Like they come first. Like my children come first before anything. Like I don't care whether I'm late to a meeting. I don't care if I have to call out of work. I don't care. They will come first. Like I have to be there for them emotionally. Alhamdulillah, like they're around me all the time. Like I don't leave them anywhere. I don't drop them off at anyone's house. Like they're with me all the time. Whatever we do together. Like I take them out, I bring them home, I take them to ICPC. Like I am heavily involved in that way.
That's incredible. I mean, sometimes you wonder, like, you have kids for a reason.
No.
Some people, it's like just having kids for having kids. Like when you have kids, you have to be there. You have to be present in their lives. You have to be interactive. They are like their most important years of their life. I mean, you studied that in psychology, right? Even with children. Because I studied child psychology. I did a diploma in child psychology.
Nice.
And it was so interesting. And I loved it. And just like the first 3 months of like pregnancy, first 3 months of conception, first 3 months as infants, and the first 3 years of life, right?
Yeah, everything happens
like
at threes.
so important, right? And it's so important. And that's something they remember, because sometimes you wonder when you're older if they're gonna still be around for you. It's all based on if you were there for them when they were little.
Absolutely. Hamza Youssef, once I watched one of his lectures and he was talking about the same exact thing. He's like, be mindful of how you treat your kids, because how they treat you will be how you treat them will be how they treat you when they get older.
Absolutely.
So, I try my best. I want to be there for them, and it's a limited time. It's a limited time. Everything in life right now is a limited time offer. Your parents are a limited time offer. I'm a limited time offer to them. And you have this window of opportunity to do what is right and at the right time. Not, cry about it later. Now, is anyone perfect? No, absolutely. I'm not perfect. I'm not a perfect mom, but I do definitely strive to be my best to them.
Right.
And inshallah, that will at least set them on a road to success.
Absolutely. And because that's all you can do, right? Try your best. And at least you've done, tried your best. So
absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So now we're going to do a rapid fire round of questions. Okay.
Yay.
So comfort outfit.
My comfort outfit?
Yep.
Sweats and a hoodie. Yeah. That's my comfort outfit.
Yeah. Comfort food.
Comfort food? Oh my God, I have so many. I don't even know. Let's just start. Comfort food. I'm going to say frike. That's my comfort food.
Wow.
Some nice little yogurt on top.
I got to try it. You got to make it. I got to try it.
No, I'll make it for you for sure.
That's so interesting. Color that instantly boosts your mood.
Oh, black. I'm with black.
One belief
pink
about...
is another one, by the way. I also like pink too, by the way.
I didn't think I'd hear pink from you.
Oh, no, I didn't tell you, but yeah, I'm also a pinker. I love pink, yeah.
Yeah.
It's so feminine. I love it. And I'm very feminine.
Is there like a certain shade of pink?
I would say a muted pink, not a loud pink.
Like a pastel?
Yeah, like a pastel.
Nice. One belief about self-worth you wish everyone unlearned.
It's one belief about self-worth that I believe everyone should unlearn.
Yes, that you wish someone... Like,
Well, one thing I
yeah,
will say, when you say that, I can take this so many different ways. But one way that I want to focus on the Arab community, because I feel like we are raised in a way to not chase the successes of life. Like we can't chase like money. It's like a nasib, you know, if it comes, it comes. Like no, go out there
right,
and
right,
don't be afraid to like seek wealth. I don't know why we have this mindset of like let Allah jibo, like well God brings you, it's okay, which it is
right, right,
absolutely, but don't strive, like don't be ashamed to strive for more, because Allah gave us the tools that we can
right.
to have the best life that we can have. No, and then the rest is going to be up to Him as long as you try.
Hmm.
So like don't have these limiting beliefs that you can't do it. You
Right.
can't.
Yeah, you can't just sit back and expect things to just fall out of the sky, right? You gotta earn it. You gotta work hard for it. So that's just
Yeah, but I guess it's coming from more from back home. It's just like they
true.
don't. It's like oh everything is okay because it's
But
like they feel it's polite and
it's a cultural thing. It's not to do with the religious
yeah.
aspect. I think it's how our cultures are and how we are raised, you know. One daily ritual you swear by.
One daily ritual I swear by. I mean, definitely hanging out with my kids, but taking care of myself. I definitely
Uh-huh.
every day have to like wash my face, do nice skincare, especially at nighttime, put lotion on, and just feel like, you know, I'm going to sleep like a queen.
I
So
love
that's something
that.
I do every night. Yeah.
Sweet or savory when stressed?
I'm a sweet and savory girl. That's the thing. So I would want
Yeah.
both. Yeah, I'll do both.
So what is a popular Syrian dessert?
Well, my favorite from Syria, what is it called again? There's sahlab,
Oh
which is like a
yeah.
pretty much warm cornstarch, I guess, with rose water. I don't know how they make it, but I haven't found it here actually, but I'm sure
Is
it
it
exists.
is it an ice cream you're talking about? The Syrian ice cream?
No, not Syrian ice cream. It's a like a milky drink. It's a warm drink. It's a winter drink, so it's served
Okay.
hot. So that's sahla. But there's another one. What is it called? Oh my god, it's only limited. It's only with Syria. Not many people don't have it here. There's only one place that has it. It's one cafe, but it's not the same as Syria. I'm going blank right now. Yeah,
Is it like a
I forget the
dessert?
dessert.
It's a dessert?
It's a dessert, yeah. It's like these like little cubes, like little. It looks like it feels like Jello, but it's not Jello. With ice cream on
Yeah.
top,
Oh,
pistachio, rose water. Oh my god, I
you
keep
know what?
saying
Talking
sahlab, but it's
about
not sahlab.
because you know
Muhallabiya? No, not muhallabiya.
the reason I'm saying it is I don't know if you've heard of Damasco in Patterson in Clifton. It's the border of Patterson and
Yeah,
Clifton.
Damasco has it. Damasco
Yes,
has it.
they have that ice cream. Is there a name for that ice cream? I can't remember
We call
because
it buza.
there
We
you
call
go.
it
That's what
buza.
it is, right? And with
Yeah,
the rose
buza.
water, pistachio, and then that Arabic cotton candy, they have the best out there.
Yeah, but they
It
have
is
the
so
dessert
good.
there. It's, oh my god, I can't believe I'm completely drawing a blank. I can't remember it. Okay. It's so crazy. Watch it come. It'll come to me as soon as we're off, and I'm like, oh my god, I remember what it is. I'll text it to you.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
And what's your favorite restaurant and what's your favorite dish from there?
Well, actually, my favorite restaurant isn't Arab.
Yeah.
It's Houston. You ever been to Houston
Really?
Riverside Square Mall? That
Yeah.
restaurant, my husband and I we frequent there so often, and what I
Yeah.
love about them is the consistency in food,
Okay.
in service. So that's like my favorite restaurant for sure. Of course, like I love Arab restaurant, but I usually take it to go. El
Right.
Basha would be the one who's most consistent for me in
Yes.
Patterson. But
Right.
I do feel like a lot of the restaurants, you know, and this is a cultural thing. It's like
Right.
we focus so much on the optics of the restaurant looking nice, but not so much the service. So like we have to
Mm-hmm.
invest in the service and the people who are working because they're the ones who are going to be driving that business.
True.
I don't care about fake flowers. I don't care about that. I care about like the experience of like when I'm ordering something, does the person know what they're doing? Like, or do they have to stop and like ask someone,
Right.
you know?
Right.
So it's like that just tells me the training. So it's for different reasons, not necessarily for the food, but just the service. I always pick Houston's. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Nice. So if someone feels disconnected from themselves right now, where should they start? Mind, body, or environment?
Mind, body, environment. I mean, they're all going to tie in together. I would say environment first. Take a look at your environment and see what's going on there and what you can change. Because by doing that, then everything else will, you know, you'll change how you feel, your body, and everything else will fall into place.
That's true. And if there's any advice you'd like to give anyone listening to our podcast episode right now, what advice would you like to give?
I would like to say to them that every person, we have what is wrong with us, but we also have what is right with us. So everybody has their superpowers. You just have to learn what they are and tap into them, and then, you know, let it take you to the best version of yourself, and not to be afraid to change to do that.
I love that advice. That's really
Thank
great.
you.
Yeah. So thank you, Nora. It was so interesting. It was like we were having like a conversation over like tea or coffee or something. It was so
I feel like
interesting.
I've met you and hung out with you before.
I know. I
Like,
feel
I
the
feel like I've
same
known you for
way,
years.
right? I guess it's that energy that we have,
Yeah.
the
See,
energy that
subhanAllah.
goes through. Thank you so much for being on my episode, for finding the time. Where can our listeners follow you?
Well, you can follow me on all platforms,
Uh-huh.
TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all POF Lux. And
Okay.
then I also have a website, poflux.com, which if anyone's interested, you can
Nice.
book a complimentary session with me and then I can see how I can help you.
Perfect. Sounds great. All
All
right.
right. Thanks for having me on. I
You're
appreciate it.
welcome. Thank you so much for being here. This brings us to the end of this episode of The Passionate Palate. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to our very interesting and inspiring story. If you have any questions for Nora or me, please drop them in the comments, and make sure you subscribe to my channels on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts, and follow me on my social media handles. Yeah, stay tuned for more interesting conversations, and always remember, don't count the calories, count the delicious memories.